Welcome back to the arena for Game 3 of the 13th annual Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout. Game 3 features the Monarchs from Mater Dei High School from Santa Ana, California, against the Caravan from Mount Carmel High School from Mount Carmel, Illinois. Here are the starting lineups for Game 3. Starting at forward for Mater Dei, a 6'6 senior, number 44, Darren Height. Starting at forward for Mount Carmel, a 6'2 senior, number 22, Donovan McNabb. Starting at forward for Mater Dei, a 6'6 senior, number 33, Josh Porter. Starting at forward for Mount Carmel, a 6'9 senior, number 23, Antoine Walker. Starting at center for Mater Dei, a 6'7 junior, number 35, Sean Jackson.
Welcome back to the arena. I'm Jay Murray. Alongside me for Game 3 of the Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout is our own Onion Horton. Onion, it's a pleasure to have you on the broadcast.
Well, thank you very much. It's been two first exciting
Starting
games.
at guard for Mater Dei, a 6'4 senior, number 34, Miles Simon.
Heard a lot of it on the radio, though.
Well, Miles Simon is being introduced. The starting lineups are being introduced for Santa Ana, Mater Dei, and Mount Carmel, as we get set to start Game 3 of the Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout. So far, the starters for Santa Ana Mater Dei will be Josh Porter, Miles Simon, Sean Jackson, Darren Hyde, and also Clay McKnight, an outstanding three-point shooter for Santa Ana Mater Dei. Jay Driscoll will be starting for Mount Carmel of Chicago, also Donovan McNabb and Antoine Walker. And we'll get the other starter here in just a moment, as we've had the Onion two overtime games so far, so we may set the record for the longest shootout ever here if we keep going at this rate.
Another overtime, and we should tell everybody she'll see them about 12:30 or 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. Yeah, this is something. The first two, but they were both exciting, and especially this last game. The two teams really, I thought, really went at each other.
And we have 8 minutes to go here. 8 minutes on the clock as we'll get set to start the first quarter. And Mount Carmel comes out in their white home jerseys. They're the home team in this game. White jerseys with the maroon and yellow trim, and Mater Dei on their road jerseys, the red jerseys with the white trim. Both teams shaking hands and getting ready to start this one. Willie Jones is the other starter for Chicago Mount Carmel. So we have quite a battle here between two teams that are nationally known here, and we tip it off, and Mount Carmel will get the opening tip, and Jay Driscoll will bring it up, the 5'11 senior. Driscoll on the right elbow for McIntosh. Eugene McIntosh back to McNabb, McNabb to McIntosh. Bounce pass inside to Jones, it's off his hands, it'll go over to Mater Dei. No score just underway here in Game 3 of the Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout. Brought to you by WGNU and presented to you by Novus Windshield Repair. Mater Dei has the basketball. It'll be Miles Simon, who's going to Arizona on a scholarship, against Donovan McNabb. Good matchup there. As Simon's pass thrown away, out of bounds, it will go off Chicago Mount Carmel, so Mater Dei will retain possession.
You know, that Simon looks a little bit like Jason Kidd in the face. Have you noticed that?
He sure does. Get the close cropped haircut and everything, as out of bounds on the play. It goes, let's see, it went off Miles Simon, so it will go. That was off on the Mount Carmel player, so Mater Dei will retain possession. Clay McKnight will inbound. McKnight inbounds to Height. Height trying to spin around. Jump shot goes outside to Miles Simon. His jumper off the iron, no good. Rebound Driscoll. Driscoll looks to run. Mount Carmel gets it to Antoine Walker off the glass and in.
That's one of the guys who wants to be one of the superstars who had his fans.
Mater Dei will track down the loose ball, and they get out to Miles Simon. Simon goes 6'4", and he does look like Jason Kidd with the short haircut.
Yeah, he certainly does.
Almost an exact replica. He's every bit as good as Jason Kidd, especially when he gets to those college ranks and gets Lute Olson under his tutelage. Shot no good by Mater Dei.
Good choice.
He sure did. Darren Height gets the rebound. Out to McKnight. McKnight trying to make a move against Antoine Walker. Can't find any room around him, so they'll reload the offense. Now McKnight tries to three, and it's blocked by Walker out of bounds. Antoine Walker trying to get it all pumped up. He relished that block as McKnight tried to get a set shot three, and that wouldn't work against Walker.
You could believe it.
Height will inbound to Simon. Simon looked to deal perhaps on McNabb. That's a good matchup. Simon backing in now, gets a screen from Jackson, drives in. Simon is blocked again by Jones, but a foul will be called.
This Mount Carmel team is one of the very best in the Chicago area. They're consistently good. A couple of years ago, they had a young man that's at DePaul now, the Kleinfeld, I think, is such a great shooter.
They've got some shot blockers on this Carmel team.
Certainly have.
Talk about Antoine Walker, but Willie Jones got up there, went up the ladder and blocked it, but unfortunately called for the foul, and Miles Simon will hit the free throw, and that will put Mater Dei on the scoreboard as Mater Dei trails it. All right, they lead now 2-1, and the basket's good for the Monarchs of Mater Dei. They tied it up. It's 2-2 now. 2 free throws by Simon, and Mount Carmel has the basketball. Driscoll looking to execute some action there, going to McIntosh on left wing. McIntosh to Walker. Walker double team, ball loose on the floor, was stripped from him, and a jump ball will be called as Josh Porter got his hands on it for Mater Dei, and the ball will go over to Mater Dei on the alternate possession rule. 2-2 is your score between Santa Ana Mater Dei and Chicago Mount Carmel. Miles Simon will bring it up against McNabb. One-on-one there as Simon breaks it. The press bounces it off a player, and Driscoll has the steal for Mount Carmel. The reach-in foul as Driscoll was moving down court will be called. Looks like it may be on Clay McKnight or Simon. We'll see who it's going to be on.
I think it's going to take a little time. These teams haven't quite settled down out there. Playing kind of ragged right now.
Looks like Darren Height will be called for his first foul. 2-2's your score. 6:03 to go here in the first quarter. McNabb has a wide open jumper, three-point range, top of the arc, no good. Rebound. McIntosh got a hand on it, and the ball instead will go out of bounds, but it went off of Mater Dei, so Mount Carmel will have the basketball. McIntosh inbounds to McNabb. McNabb left wing, drives into the lane, off the glass and in. Donovan McNabb puts Mount Carmel up 4-2. Another nice move, put a nice little bit of English on that ball.
Did.
Off the glass. Simon, inside pass to Porter is loose, and Mount Carmel picks up the steal. Right now it's Walker. Walker against Height. Spin move in the lane. Finger roll is good.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I mean, that guy can handle the ball, too, for that height.
6'9".
Puts it on the floor like a guard.
And that makes it a 6-2 lead as Mater Dei trying to get on track offensively. And Simon underneath pass to Jackson. Pump fakes once, twice. Shot up, no good. Jackson got his own rebound. Stripped by Jones out of bounds. And it will be Mater Dei basketball.
They got some good hands, this Mount Carmel team does.
And Mount Carmel called the Caravan. And the Caravan has staked themselves out to a 6-2 lead over the Monarchs of Santa Ana Mater Dei. Inbounding it will be Clay McKnight to Darren Height. Left of the lane, shot blocked, and a foul they'll call on McIntosh. Boy, they do get up that ladder. They love to block shots, and McIntosh got it that time.
Every time they take a shot, somebody's trying to block it.
Second team foul, McIntosh is first. So to the free throw line will be Darren Height.
Do you have what's their current record, Mount Carmel?
I don't know. I'll have to look that up real quick.
Yeah.
But
I didn't see it in the program. That's why I was wondering about it. Had last year's record, I think, but
yeah,
none of the teams do they have their present records for this year.
Height makes his first free throw. Mount Carmel last year 23-6.
Mm-hmm.
And Mater Dei 33-2, lost to Los Angeles Crenshaw in the California State Championship. Darren Height made his first free throw to make it 6-3 and make it 6-4. As Height hits 2 free throws. Mount Carmel leads at 6-4. They have the basketball. And Driscoll will lead the charge from the point. Right wing pass. McNabb driving right wing, no good. The shot up and in the air, bounce up volleyball style 2 or 3 times, and finally McNabb gets it in over Height. 3 rebounds. McNabb with 4 points, Walker with 4 points. 8-4. Mount Carmel leads it over Mater Dei of Santa Ana, California. McKnight with the basketball, left wing. Over to Simon. Simon around the pick. On the give and go, back to McKnight, left wing. Pump fakes, shoots a 2-point shot, and it rolls in. A 2-pointer for McKnight. And right now 8-6 as Mount Carmel has the ball clinging to a 2-point lead. Driscoll on the right-hand dribble between the legs, now moving right of the lane, trying to get it over to McIntosh. It goes off McIntosh out of bounds. Mater Dei now with the chance to tie it up or take the lead with a 3. We're in the early going, 4:32 to go here in the first quarter, and Mater Dei has the basketball trailing 8-6. Clay McKnight between the legs, dribble over there at the corner by the timeline. Bounce pass inside to Simon. Simon left of the lane, pump fakes. Looks for Porter instead, goes to Height. Height left of the lane, kicks it out to Simon. Wide open for the three. Yes! Miles Simon with 5 points. The leading scorer last year with about a 19.5-point average. And Onion, they had 6 guys off that team last year with Division I scholarships. A very deep program.
Yeah, and this guy's going to Arizona. He'll be playing for a good coach in Lute Olson out there.
McIntosh slips on the right elbow as he was making a move on the sideline. And there's going to be a foul called on Mater Dei. Looks like Josh Porter or Darren Height gets called for the foul. He's picked up 2 quick fouls.
I guess Mater Dei is one of the Midwest Mount Carmel's Eastern Fork Union, Virginia's, where they're able to actually recruit players because they're private schools.
Yeah. And Mount Carmel looks like they have called a timeout. So what we'll do is we'll hear from Taylor Auto Salvage, and we'll take a timeout ourselves with 3:56 to go here in the first quarter. And it's a 9-8 game. Mount Carmel leads it. We'll be right back. Okay, let's just take number 3. Okay. Yeah. I can get it for you here momentarily. Okay. Yeah.
Attention, please. Doug McElhone, please report to the scores table. Doug McElhone, please report to the scores table.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try that and see how it goes.
All right, Ben. Is that okay? All right.
Okay. Mater Dei with a 1-point lead here, 9-8 over Mount Carmel as we resume action. Antoine Walker pulls up from the left of the lane, no good with a shot, rebounded by Simon. Hook shot pass down to Porter, his layup off the glass, no good, and it's controlled by Mater Dei. Clay McKnight has it. Over to Karich, back out to Porter, to McKnight, to Simon, right wing 3, short, off the rim and on top of the backboard, and as a result, Mount Carmel will have the basketball. Trailing 9-8, 3:34 to go here in the first quarter. The crowd kind of quiet here, Onion, I guess, after the first 2 overtimes, and plus the fact that the fans aren't really familiar with these two teams may lead to a little bit of a quietness from the crowd.
I think you're right, too. We have both of them being from out of town, and then I think Walker's not quite as well known as some of the other superstars.
Porter off the glass over Jones, and he puts it in. Porter now has 2 points, and the 3-point lead now has been opened up by Mater Dei. Mount Carmel on the attack. Donovan McNabb loses control of the basketball. Simon gets his hands on it. The ball out of bounds. Who's it going to go to? It'll go to Mater Dei.
Yeah, the game's a little ragged right now. I think they'll probably warm up, though. Both of them excellent teams. I don't know how many players they've got coming back. I didn't see Mount Carmel last year. They were out. I always go up to the Illinois State Tournament, but they didn't make it.
Mater Dei and Clay McKnight had lost the ball out of bounds, but it went off a Mount Carmel player, so Mater Dei retains possession. 2:53 to go here in the first quarter, and Mater Dei has a 3-point lead, 11-8. And as Onion mentioned, a little bit of a slow, ragged start here between two very powerful teams in the United States. Simon drives right of the lane, kicks it inside to Jackson, double pump fake, and up with the shot, and it's good.
Jackson from Miles Simon.
From Miles Simon, Sean Jackson now with 2 points, and the lead now up to 5. Mater Dei leads it 13-8 over Mount Carmel. Antoine Walker backs it out, right elbow between the legs, dribbled 2 or 3 times, tried to move around Porter. But Porter plays some pretty good defense, and Jackson bats the ball away from Walker, the ball loose in the backcourt of Carmel, and Mount Carmel somehow comes up with it. Marlo Miles, and they're still battling, and it goes out of bounds. Now who's it going to go to? It'll go to Mount Carmel.
That was some real hustle there.
I'll tell you what, about a half dozen times the ball changed hands on the loose ball. Nobody could get a hold of it.
Yeah, they really put out on that, the kids did.
And after that, I guess they got to call a timeout to catch their breath.
Mount Carmel takes their
2:21 to go here. Mount Carmel calls a timeout, and they're trailing Santa Ana Mater Dei 13-8. What we'll do right now is take a brief break and we'll come right back. You're listening to the Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout on WGNU. Okay, let's take a PSA, I guess.
Kevin, you see that referee out there?
Yeah.
I know he doesn't remember me. They call him Tiny.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try and get Onion to get this mic closer to his mouth. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And we're back to action here. 2:21 to go here in the first quarter. And Santa Ana Mater Dei, the Monarchs lead it 13-8 over Chicago Mount Carmel. Both teams, of course, nationally known in 11 years. I mentioned Gary McKnight of Santa Ana Mater Dei has compiled 92% winning percentage, 319 wins, 27 losses. His teams have captured 2 overall California Division I championships in 1990 and 1987. And so they've been a very powerful force on the national scene, as well as Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel has the basketball right now. Jay Driscoll, the 5'11 senior, will go to McIntosh. McIntosh lost control of the ball, gets it back. McIntosh drives into the lane, put up the jumper. It's no good. Blocked by Jackson out of bounds. Sean Jackson, the 6'7 junior, got his hand on that and batted it out of bounds. It will be McIntosh's will be inbounding for Mount Carmel. Bounce pass into Walker. Walker spins around one man off the glass and in with the jumper. Antoine Walker with 6 points. And right now it gets Mount Carmel back to within 3. Mater Dei with the basketball from Santa Ana, California. Clay McKnight, the coach's son, with the basketball, a very good three-point shooter. Gives it to Simon, Miles Simon. Back to McKnight. McKnight tried to get open for a 3, and right now he dishes up to Porter. Porter in the corner to the right of the lane, gets it back out to Simon. Simon off of screen, it's McKnight. 3 on the way, good! 3 on the way for Clay McKnight, and that's what he's known for. He has 5 points so far. Driscoll, right wing for Mount Carmel. Spinning around one man, and McKnight with good defense on him on the man-to-man. They give it to McNabb. McNabb with the right-hand dribble, patiently waiting for someone to pop open. It's McIntosh, right wing. McIntosh with the man all over him, and a foul will be called as Mike Karich was all over McNabb, in fact, a little too close. The foul is called. In fact, they're going to call it on Porter, I believe.
You know, one of the things I've noticed in this game and in the second game, too, was that the outstanding players in these games, they really don't hold the ball. They get their points within the flow of the game. I mean, like this Walker, he's not shooting hardly at all.
A 3 on the way is good by McNabb. Whoa, boy, from left wing. Donovan McNabb with 7 points, and he is an outstanding quarterback, one of the top quarterbacks in the state of Illinois, and he shows some good three-point shooting ability as well. 16-13, Mater Dei with the lead. The Monarchs trying to drive in with McKnight driving baseline. His shot short off the rim. Rebound, Jackson, he can't convert. That's rebounded by Karich. Karich to Simon. Simon says, I'll take the 3. He can't get it to fall, though. Rebounded by Walker. Walker will bring it up himself, the 6'9 senior. All the way, coast to coast, off the glass. Yes!
That's a good one. Heck of a player.
He shows why he's going to Arizona. Well, I tell you what, he took it coast to coast, no doubt about it. 16-15, Monarchs lead by 1. Mater Dei and Clay McKnight, another 3. Clay McKnight, 2 3-pointers. He has 8 points total, and that puts Mater Dei out to a 4-point lead. Driscoll now. Driving in is Walker, off-balance jumper, no good. In fact, that was Marcus Hall with a missed shot. Rebounded, pulled down by Augustine. Ball kicked and retrieved by McKnight to Augustine. Augustine drives to the free throw line to Jackson. Back up to Simon, wide open for the 3. Decides instead to go to McKnight. McKnight 3 on the way. Off the iron, no good. Rebound. Walker had a hand on it, and he retrieves it. Gives it to Willie Jones. Willie Jones, and the quarter will run out as Jones retrieves the ball and was looking for some help, but the clock runs out at the end of the first quarter. Your score at the end of one quarter, it's Mater Dei leading it over Mount Carmel 19-15. We'll come back after this. You're listening to the Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout on WGNU. Okay, we'll just take Novus, I guess. Okay. Yeah, Onion, if you can, if you get your mic a little closer to your mouth and speak up a little bit. I think you're having problems picking you up in the...
Oh, they are?
Yeah. Okay. So just, don't be bashful.
Not close enough?
Yeah, don't be bashful either, Because I think that's with the band playing and everything, that's
pretty low.
And we're back to action here at the St. Louis Arena. Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout Game 3, featuring Santa Ana Mater Dei, who last year was 33-2, lost the state championship to Los Angeles Crenshaw, another powerful team this year, taking on Chicago Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel 23-6, and along with, I guess, Chicago King, I guess Mount Carmel would be one of the favorites for the 2A crowd.
Yeah, King and Marshall also. Marshall's had a real good team, a lot of people coming back. You know, I would urge basketball fans, if they ever get a chance, 1 year to go to the Illinois State Tournament in Champaign. This would be my 10th year in a row. The basketball's unbelievable.
We'll expound on that a little bit as Driscoll inside now to McNabb. McNabb bounce pass, and in the meantime, a foul call as Marcus Hall will be called for the charge. And as a result, Mater Dei will have the ball back. They lead it 19-15 as we're underway here in the second quarter. But you're right, the Illinois State Tournament, just much more of an exciting carnival atmosphere, not only with the great basketball, but you have a slam dunk tournament and all sorts of other activities going on.
Tremendous basketball. I love it. Once I started going, I've just never missed. I went to Mississippi and also to Indiana and Arkansas, but the Mississippi and Illinois, I thought, were very best.
Simon, Augustine, and McKnight, they swing it around. Far corner, it is Simon's three-pointer, no good. Rebounded, though, by Karich of Mater Dei to McKnight. McKnight, top of the key. They go to Karich, back out to Simon. Simon driving, penetrating the lane. Pump fakes once, goes up with a shot. Yes.
Nice shot. Got the people up in there. Put it in right over.
From 3 feet away, and Miles Simon now with 7 points, and Mater Dei's built a 6-point lead as a result. Driscoll for Mount Carmel. Over to McNabb. McNabb looking for some help. Lob pass inside for Walker. Batted away by Karich and controlled by Simon of Mater Dei. Good defense by Mater Dei. Simon dribbling up the left side. Walker tried to steal, couldn't do it. Simon going coast to coast off the glass. Good! Miles Simon just strolled and weaved through to the Carmel defense, and he put it off the glass and in. 23-15, the biggest lead for Mater Dei is 8 points, but Driscoll drives in from right wing and gets 2 for himself.
Smallest guy on the floor, too.
5'11", he drove from right wing and converted the layup. 23-17, Mater Dei leading it by 6. Augustine now, the 5'8" freshman in the ball game, handling the point duties for Mater Dei to McKnight. McKnight to Simon, left wing. Takes the three, and it is rims and out, no good. Rebound, pulled down by Marcus Hall of Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel trying to whittle that lead down of 6 by Mater Dei. Driscoll with the basketball between the legs dribble. Bounce pass inside, kicked out to Jones. Jones to Walker, posting up and good with the jumper.
Guys got a touch. I'm telling you.
10 points already for Antoine Walker. 6:05 to go here in the first half. 23-19, Mater Dei leads by 4. Augustine looks like a double team trap in effect, but he splits that. Goes to Simon, baseline right side underneath. Pump fakes once, but shot blocked by both Walker and Jones, and Mount Carmel comes up with a Driscoll. Handles the point duties. Over to Walker, driving in left wing, scooping layup, no good. Rebound, fought for and controlled by Mater Dei. McKnight comes up with the ball. They run the break. Simon, 2-on-1 for Mater Dei. Inside to Chris Burgess, the freshman. Chris Burgess, hadn't seen him for quite a while.
Great pass there.
2 points for Chris Burgess. I saw this Mater Dei squad a year and a half ago out of the Great Western Shootout. And Burgess is a freshman. And Walker comes in, and he drains the jumper. 25-19 the score right now.
Something else, man. Can handle that ball like he's about 5'8" and shoot it.
Unbelievable.
He's a tremendous one.
Antoine Walker right now with 13 points. Sean Jackson back in the ball game, and Gary McKnight says, I want to call timeout and talk about this with 5:20 to go here in the first half. Mater Dei leads it 25-21 over Chicago Mount Carmel. We'll take another break and we'll come right back. You're listening to the Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout on WGNU. Okay, just any PSA.
Oh, that was a hell of a shot, wasn't it?
Now, was that a 3? Was it?
No, it was 2.
Yeah, I thought it still was on the line. Back at the St. Louis Arena, of course, the Waterloo-Gibault marching band continuing to entertain here. To our left and behind the basket, and they've done a great job of entertaining the crowd here. So far, the crowd kind of quiet, but I think they're trying to get acquainted with some of these players. from well outside of Missouri, Santa Ana Mater Dei from California, and Chicago Mount Carmel from Chicago. I guess both teams that are unknown to these fans, and I guess they're just kind of settling in, trying to look at the program and see who's who.
You're right. I tell you, a couple more moves like the one Walker made there, they'll
know him pretty
very
quick.
Much aware.
Oh yes. As the freshman Kevin Augustine brings it up for Mater Dei. Augustine will try the right wing, looking for a screen, looking for somebody inside. Jackson had some position, but Augustine drives baseline off the glass, can't get it to fall. Jackson with the hook shot off the glass, good.
Good player too, number 35. That Jackson's very good inside player.
6'7" junior. He'll get some looks for some major colleges. He has 4 points right now. Walker for Chicago Mount Carmel wants everybody to clear out, but the ball batted away by Josh Porter as Walker looked to make a move.
Turning to the lineup for the Caravan.
Coming in, Willie Jones will check in, and checking out Victor Junius, who was in briefly, the 6'5" sophomore for Chicago Mount Carmel. McIntosh will inbound. Almost a 5 count, but they get into Driscoll. Back to McIntosh on the give and go on the baseline. He runs into a player, and the ball out of bounds. It'll be Mater Dei basketball. He ran into Mike Wall in the ball game, the 6'1" junior.
I don't know what that call. I guess he must have stepped out of bounds or something. He just turned the ball over.
And it's a pretty ragged start, as we mentioned, as Porter takes a 3 from the corner, well off the mark, an air ball, and Walker controls. Here he comes, the 6'9" senior, handling the ball like a guard. Between the legs dribble, once, twice, pulls up the 3 on the way, good! He leaves you speechless. And Walker goes for the steal and saves it. On the press, Walker can do it all. Cross-court pass over to McIntosh. McIntosh can't do much with it, so they'll reset the offense. Well, I tell you what, Walker 2 or 3 times between the legs dribble and then launches the 3. Launches another one, and he makes it! As they say in Louisiana, woo song! 18 points for Antoine Walker already.
Man, this guy is something.
And we're tied up at 27 as a result, and Hyden has a block by Willie Jones. Augustine will pump back, and he'll drive. He'll try it from 15.
The freshman knocked one down, huh?
Got away from a potential shot block there, as those Mount Carmel defenders really love to get up after it and block those shots. Mater Dei, as a result, leads at 29-27, and Walker looks to tie it up or take the lead again. Walker trying to go one-on-one against Porter. Moves with the left hand. Takes it from the top of the key. Well short, it's an air ball, and hit a cameraman out of bounds. It will be Mater Dei basketball, and Antoine lost a little bit of magic there. Must have ran out of gas a little bit.
I tell you, this Willie Jones, 6'5", 230. This guy's got a frame on him, man. He's another shot blocker too from Mount Carmel.
Yeah, 6'5" junior. Looks like he goes about 220.
Yeah, they list him at 230 on the front. Yeah, well, 6'5", 230. You're only 10 pounds off.
He's a load, whatever.
Yeah, he is.
10 pounds don't make a difference with him. Jackson inside pass, nice backdoor pass to McKnight, back to Hyden.
Another beautiful pass.
And Hyde puts it in.
They really move that ball well, the California team does.
They sure do. Teamwork is the essence of their squad. As Mater Dei will try to defend Willie Jones here. Jones on the double team drives with a shot. It's blocked. Looks like Jackson got a piece of it. And it will be Mount Carmel basketball.
The management of the arena and the sponsors of the shootout ask everyone to please sit in their assigned seat. We ask that at halftime you will check your seat.
Well, I guess there's some people moving around trying to get the best vantage point here on you. Playing musical chairs in the stands.
Nobody wanted to take it out.
Simon gets the rebound for Mater Dei off the missed shot by Mount Carmel. Left wing pass. It's Porter trying to slam, and he can't do it. Jackson gets the rebound. His shot blocked from behind by Marlo Miles. A fight for the loose ball, and Simon can't get it. Here comes Walker. 3-on-1. Gets to McNabb. McNabb all the way for the jam. For the jam. Donovan McNabb with 9 points. And that brings the Mount Carmel squad to within 2. Mater Dei leads at 31-29, 2:25 to go first half.
Very close here.
Simon on the right wing drives baseline. Walker comes from behind and swats it, and he'll get the foul. You can see Walker right there. He let Simon go by and then came up from behind and tried to swat it out, but he got the foul instead of the block.
Mount Carmel foul number 23.
They said, according to this book here, Kentucky, Michigan, and Illinois are his final 3. That would be a great loss for Illinois to see him go out of the state.
You could probably think that Lou Henson's probably going to do like a Norm Stewart, just beg and plead him to go to Illinois.
Patina's mighty tough on a situation like this, though.
He's slick. You better believe it. Miles Simon makes a free throw. He's got 10 points. Yeah, Pitino's not going to let him get away with that a nice slick sales pitch.
You can believe it. Pitino's a master when it comes to recruiting.
Second free throw good by Miles Simon with 11 points. 33-29, now the lead up to 4 for Mater Dei, as Mount Carmel had a deficit working against them of 8 points, but they whittled it down and they're back in the ball game. 2:14 to go first half. Driscoll over to Donovan McNabb, one of the great quarterbacks in the state of Illinois. Back over to Walker, launching a three left wing, won't go this time. Rebound Porter for Mater Dei, and he's tied up in a jump ball, and it will go to Mater Dei. Good job there by Marlo Miles to tie him up on the rebound, but instead, on the alternate possession rule, it will be Mater Dei basketball. Here comes the press for Mount Carmel.
That Mater Dei, they're not very flashy, but all they do is just stay out in front. You know, they're not doing that much flashy, but they really work together, and they've been hustling too.
There's some flash there behind the back dribble by McKnight.
Loose balls and everything. They've really come up with a lot of them.
And Walker this time trying to drive right wing. The ball batted out of his hands from behind, out of bounds. It will be Mount Carmel basketball. 1:44 to go in the first half. Mater Dei leading 33-29. And out with the entrance pass goes out to Driscoll, out high. McNabb had an open three, passes it up for Willie Jones inside, and he has his shot blocked. Miles gets the rebound, off the glass, high off the window pane, no good. Rebound pulled down McKnight. McKnight, baseball pass down, court to Jackson. Had a ball batted away by Driscoll. Driscoll, with the help from Jones, retrieves it back. Lob pass inside, and McNabb looked like he wanted to go for the alley-oop, but it's batted away by Porter. This game's kind of like the game after last year, when Jackson Murrow did such a great job of winning that ball game last year in fine fashion, I believe, over Riverview. And then with Ronnie Henderson scoring so many points, 40 points, electrified the crowd. This game following is much like the game last year that followed the Riverview game with Proviso East and Simon Gratz. Everybody expected Simon Gratz, the #1 team, to be explosive, but it was really more of a chess match.
That's right. Yeah, Simon Gratz was a team that sat on the ball a lot, very methodic. I'll tell you, I would have loved to see them play King. I believe King would have killed them last year.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah. Baseline jumper, no good. McNabb shot the ball. He got his own rebound, tracked it down nicely. McNabb has another opportunity now. Drives the lane, pulls up the jumper from 10 with the right hand, no good. Had to change hands in mid-shot. Couldn't get it to fall. Jackson gets the rebound for Mater Dei. Mater Dei leads it by 4. Minute to go here in the first half. McKnight trying to get some three-point range shooting going for him. Didn't have a shot, so it goes to Simon. Simon on right wing, moving it with the left-hand dribble over to the top of the key. Looking for a screen, he gets it, now goes inside and pass off a Mount Carmel player, but McKnight right there to convert the loose ball and gets the basket for Mater Dei. McKnight showed the good hands there as the ball was tipped, but he stayed with it and got the pass and got the basket. 30 seconds to go, and Mater Dei leads it by 6, heading toward the end of the first half. Mount Carmel with the ball. Jay Driscoll handles the point duties for Mount Carmel. He'll drive in, bounce pass inside to McNabb, off the glass, no good with the reverse one-hander, out of bounds. Looks like it off of Darren Height for Mater Dei, and so Mount Carmel will have the basketball. Checking in again, number 31 for Mater Dei, Mike Karich, a 6'3" senior.
Mount Carmel was doing a lot of standing around. I think everybody wanted to shoot the ball. Nobody was moving at all.
Driscoll throws it up high for McNabb, right wing. McNabb trying to make a move with 10 seconds to go in the half. Out to Walker. Walker shaking and begging right wing. Drives right of the lane. Scooping layup off the glass. Yes! 3 seconds to go. 2 seconds. 1 second. Simon with the ball. Launches a shot at the buzzer. No good off the rim.
In and out.
It could have counted if it would have gone in, but Simon's three is off the rim and no good. Walker with his basket at the end. A nice driving layup. Antoine Walker of Chicago Mount Carmel. 20 points so far in the first half. And at the end of the first half, it's Mater Dei leading it 35-31 over Chicago Mount Carmel. Right now, we'll take a brief break and we'll have our halftime show. You're listening to the Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout on WGNU.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to wish a
happy
birthday to the coordinator and who organizes the Coca-Cola Shootout, Mr. Keith.
Yeah, you might as well. It'll give us time to set up.
For 10 years of hard work and dedication in bringing great hoops to the St. Louis area, a plaque is being presented to Keith Pickett in honor of his 45th birthday, which he is celebrating today. Making the presentation and representing the Coca-Cola Bottling Company is Bruce Rose and Kate Creepshauser. The plaque reads,
"Is there somebody back there who's the engineer of that tongue?"
In bringing great hoops to the St. Louis area for all fans, past and present, and all participants and sponsors of the Shootout, Thank you, and happy 45th birthday to Keith Pickett.
How many people they gonna give some of that cake, I wonder? It's like it's swagging in the middle there.
I hope they don't drop it on the floor.
Happy birthday. I guess it's 10th year or something.
I think it's,
Is Tom doing some commercials or something? Okay, thank you.
Tom will keep you.
Yeah, I know that little sound, and I heard it when you were talking the other day. Oh my goodness, I keep on dropping.
For all the fans who've had such great basketball entertainment the past 13 years, happy birthday to Keith Pickett.
We're back at the arena now. This is Onion. Charlie will be working hard to try to get both of them. I understand both of them have been to the Billiken games, all their home games they showed up, and the two young men at Deshaun too have been there.
Sure. There's no doubt that they'll be beating the bushes over at Cardinal Ritter, and rightly so. I mean, one of the coaches at Ritter is a great, outstanding former point guard for St. Louis University, Pee Wee Leonard. So there's a natural connection. But more than that, those are just two young men that, to me, signify the future of St. Louis University basketball. If they are to become the big-time program they aspire to become, those are players they have to get. Jahidi White was a national recruit from day one. He was a top 15, top 20 player.
But in the Post-Dispatch, and I'll be talking to you all evening here. Thank you very much for stopping by.
It's always a pleasure.
That was Kevin Boone from the Post-Dispatch, and at the halftime here, Mater Dei, California has a 35-31 lead over Mount Carmel from Chicago.
Okay, Tom, let's see. Are we in a break? Or no? Yeah. Okay, we're just starting the second halves here, so we'll just have to cancel. Just tell her thank you, very much, but we just couldn't. With the 2 overtime games, we're not going to be able to get to her. And the basket made by Donovan McNabb as we start the second half.
Donovan McNabb.
35-33 your score now as Mount Carmel has pulled to within 2 of Mater Dei from Santa Ana, California. And Mater Dei has the basketball right now with Miles Simon.
I think you're going to see them play much better this half, both teams.
Simon spins, the pass over to McKnight, batted away by Walker, and the pass stolen by Jones, and Miles Simon then gets a hand on it, and the ball out of bounds. It'll go to Mater Dei. Willie Jones, a very spirited player, 6'5", a senior, tried to get that turnover for Mount Carmel, but he couldn't do it. Lob pass almost thrown away in the backcourt, but Miles Simon retrieves. That was McNabb trying to track it down, but instead, right now it's Porter. Porter to Darren Hyde inside, pump fakes. Over to Jackson across the lane, up and in with the shot.
Beautiful fake.
Jackson.
2 and 3 fakes, and then Jackson got the room to operate with, and he put it in off the glass. 6 points for him. And the lead back out to 4 from Mater Dei. Antoine Walker gets down low. Double, triple team now. The shot off no good. Off the glass and off the rim, but a foul will be called on Mater Dei. It'll be against Darren Hyde, and I've got him down for 3 fouls. So we'll have to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, they might have to give him a rest, but the coach doesn't look like he's making a move over there.
Yeah, Darren Hyde will stay in the game as Walker's first free throw good. Walker had 20 points at halftime, so now he has 21, the 6'9" senior. One of the best players in the nation, and he'll can the second one. 22 points for Walker. 37-35, Mater Dei clinging to a 2-point lead here early in the second half. Miles Simon brings it up against McNabb. Miles Simon between the legs, dribble. It's free throw line, bounce pass inside, and it's batted away, stolen away by Willie Jones to Walker. Walker on the dribble. The big man can move like a guard, as we mentioned earlier. Baseline drive, the ball stripped from him by Height and controlled by Simon of Mater Dei. And he has his pocket picked, and McNabb goes in for the one-handed jam, and he can't make it. Well, that's a shame because McNabb picked the pocket, of Simon, but couldn't get the one-hand jam to go down.
Also, Walker was standing on the bucket by himself. If he'd passed it off, they'd had an easy one.
Jackson with the scooping layup from 2 feet is good.
That was a four-point play. They lost 2 and then came back, and California picked up 2. That hurt.
Yep, Mater Dei now leads it by 4, 39-35. 6:08 to go in the third quarter. Walker lobs it into Willie Jones on the low post. Turnaround jumper from the lane. It is good. Got the roll.
Nice touch right there.
Rolled around a couple of times and fell through. Jones' first 2 points of the ball game. Driscoll pressuring McKnight in the backcourt. McKnight gets it across, goes to the top of the key, being double teamed now by Walker and Driscoll, and a foul called. Reaching in, the hold will be called on Mr. Driscoll. Jay Driscoll has his first foul called on him.
Number 21, Jay Driscoll, his second personal. First team foul in the second half.
39-37 is your score. Mater Dei leads it by 2 over Mount Carmel. Been a nip and tuck game throughout. 19-15 at the end of one quarter. Mater Dei led it, and it was a 4-point game at halftime. And Simon has it tapped out of bounds by Walker. And Mater Dei will retain possession. Mater Dei going from right to left on your radio dial. They got their red jerseys with the white trim. Mount Carmel in their home jerseys, the white jerseys. Driscoll almost has a steal right in front of us, but he's out of bounds. And we'll go to Mater Dei. So Jay Driscoll, a very tenacious point guard, very scrappy.
Both of these teams are really playing defense. They keep knocking that ball away from each other. They're doing a good job out there.
Driscoll doing some talking to McKnight, so we'll see how that develops. Meanwhile, Simon spin move in the lane, loses his footing, and Driscoll picks it up. Driscoll in the left-hand dribble, 3-on-3. Gets it to Walker. Right ring jumper, no good. From the right wing from Driscoll. Pass it out to McNabb. And his lob pass inside to Walker on the baseline. Blocked. Blocked by Sean Jackson.
Beautiful. That Jackson's quite a player.
He can put that in his little scrapbook in his mind, as he says he can tell his grandkids, I blocked a shot of Antoine Walker when I played him in the shootout in St. Louis.
Yeah, he's a junior, got another year to go. You're right. They'll be looking at him next year.
And a little bit of moisture wiped off the floor, and we will resume action right now as McIntosh triggers the inbound pass. Goes to Walker. Walker to the top of the key. Lost control of the ball, pushed up a shot, no good. The ball batted out of bounds, but Simon got a hand on it, or Jackson did, but another Mount Carmel player got a hold of it too, and so Mater Dei gets possession of the basketball. 5:13 to go here in the third quarter. Mater Dei with the ball, clinging to a 2-point lead. Driscoll contesting the pass in the backcourt. Very scrappy, this Driscoll. I like the way he plays.
Yeah, he's really a hustler.
McKnight, right elbow to Simon. Simon stepped on the sideline, so Mount Carmel will get the ball back. They have a chance with a 2-pointer to tie it, or if they get a 3, they'll take the lead. Driscoll sprints it up quickly for Carmel. Mount Carmel on the attack. Bounce pass, entry pass into Walker, right wing. Backs in, turnaround jumper, baseline, won't go for him. Rebound, tailed up and in by Jones.
Jones was up in there on that.
And we're tied at 39, the ball out of bounds. Ball batted out of bounds. It will go to Mount Carmel. Again, tough defense by Driscoll. And the Mount Carmel squad, they get the turnover, and so Mount Carmel can take the lead here if they get a bucket. Right now, coming in is Mike Karich. Will come in for Darren Height. Darren Height gets a breather.
This game looks like it's going to be just like the first two, right down to the end. There.
Could be, as the entry pass to McNabb batted away. Karich gets it to Simon. Down court to McKnight. Wide open for the 3, right wing. Won't go, too hard off the iron. Rebound, pulled down by Mount Carmel. McNabb and Walker's all alone, they don't see him. Driscoll now to Walker. And he goes for a jam, and he can't get it, but the foul called. Walker doing a little bit of a chin up on the rim there, as he had a wonderful opportunity to get a slam there, but he was fouled en route. And Walker will go to the line.
He had his chance to hang on the rim there and get away without a tick.
Get a Sports Illustrated moment, hang on the rim and say we're number 1. 4:32 to go here in the third quarter. Action perhaps starting to bubble up and heat up a little bit here as Walker goes to the free throw line.
They're playing better, right?
Free throw good by Walker, 23 points for him. Had 20 at halftime, but he's been a little bit quiet here to start the third quarter. Second free throw good. He does have great free throw abilities, great form.
Certainly does.
And that will let him rack up some points when perhaps he's not hot from the field. 41-39, Mount Carmel has taken the lead by 2. Mater Dei with the basketball. They'll whip it around to Simon. Simon, top of the key, running one-hander. Won't go too hard, rebound. Simon gets his own rebound. Pump fakes once, twice, 3 times. Up with the one-hander, wild one-hander, no good. Walker rebounds. He'll lead the break. numbers aren't good, but Walker doesn't care. He drives in on the right wing between the legs, dribble. He's trying to make a move, spin move around one man. Off the glass jumper, won't go for him though. All that flashiness results in no points, and Simon with the rebound. Tell you what, Mike Wall did a good job of staying with Walker, made it difficult for him.
You know, in that last play, last time down the floor, Simon made about a 45-foot bounce pass between about 3 people, right to his player under the basket. Man.
Jones tried to save it, but right to Mater Dei. McKnight drives in left wing, high off the window pane, no good, but a foul called on McNabb, and McKnight should go to the free throw line. 3:35 to go here in the third quarter. Mount Carmel leads it by 2, 41-39. Took their first lead of the ball game moments ago at the start of the third quarter. McKnight will shoot 2 as he was in the act of shooting coming in. Marlo Miles checks in, 5'11" sophomore. And Driscoll will wander out between the circles and watch McKnight shoot a couple of free throws. Clay McKnight led the Orange County in three-point shooting last year. He's only a junior, the coach's son, so he knows how to play the game.
If Marlo Miles is only 5'11", I know Willie Jones is not 6 inches taller than Willie. Either Marlo's about 6'4", or Willie's about 6 feet. One of the two.
McKnight makes the free throw. 41-41. He made both. Yeah, you're right. I think Marlo is skipping a little bit on his height.
Yeah.
McNabb drives in the lane and he scoops the layup in. McNabb with 13 points. Nice move down the lane. Very aggressive. Mater Dei now facing some trapping pressure at midcourt. Simon looked like he was going to get the ball from Waugh, but instead it's stolen away by Mount Carmel. So Mount Carmel now mounting a little bit of a run here. They lead by 2 and can make it 4 or 5 on this trip. Miles on the left wing between the legs, dribble, goes to McIntosh on the left sideline. Being pressured nicely by Carrot, ball out of bounds, and Mount Carmel will retain possession, but good defense there by Mike Carrot, the 6'3" senior.
They've played good defense this quarter. Both teams have done very well. They're all over each other.
They play a lot of basketball, especially Mater Dei in the summer. They play up to about 60 games per summer. They can't travel a whole lot because of California state high school rules, so they use the summers as their time to travel and play a lot of basketball. It's Walker there shooting the air ball that grazes the net a little bit, and he's kind of a little bit sheepish about that. He's like, well, that really is not indicative of what I can do. But
yeah, he's laughing about it. The coach is smiling. It's one of those razor smiles.
Yeah, it's like,
like a string.
Another one of those. Yeah, another one of those. You'll be on the pines.
Right.
Timeout called by Mater Dei as Simon was prepared to attack from left wing. So with 2:43 to go, Mount Carmel with a little bit of a surge here in the third quarter. Lead it by 2. Mount Carmel of Chicago leads at 43-41 over Santa Ana. Mater Dei will come right back after this break. You're listening to the Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout on WGNU. Okay, Tom, what break are we on? What was that? Oh, I'm sorry. What break are we on? Okay. Let's go ahead and take that one. Yeah.
I think we're going to be at least 45 minutes behind when we come off of this game.
Yeah, because I was trying to do an interview with Debbie Yowell with the phone, but she has other things that she has to do, so we could do it for the next game. Not much you can do.
Yeah, because they're going to be at least 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, they certainly are, and we were talking about the time schedule. I guess Keith Pickett kind of wondering how far behind we're going to get with the 2 overtime games in the first 2 games. The schedule is set back a little bit, but we'll see all games in their entirety, and fans will still have a good time. As a pass inside to Jackson from Simon, about no-look pass, couldn't convert. Driscoll open, the bounce pass to him in the lane. The shot is good off the glass, and a foul call to boot. So Driscoll, tell you what, he's only 5'11", but he's scrappy. He's as tough as any kid I've seen out here tonight.
Excellent
play in the area.
Handled the ball well. Very aggressive. Made a great shot on that one. Leaned into the guy and got the foul too.
And shielded his body away. Kept the ball away from the opposing player. Kept it away with his body as he makes the free throw.
3-point play.
5 points for Driscoll. A nice job there to convert the 3-point play. That puts Mount Carmel up by 5. That's their biggest lead of the game. We're in the third quarter, 2:25 to go. Mater Dei with the basketball. Karich looking for some help, decides, well, let's throw it over to Augustine in the game, and meanwhile, some activity inside. Looks like Willie Jones will be calling for a foul inside.
Yeah, that's just his first, so they're in pretty good shape foul-wise.
Yeah, nobody in foul trouble except for Darren Heights. He has 3 for Mater Dei, so they've kept him out of the ball game for much of this third quarter. Inbound pass to Jackson. Jackson back out front to Augustine. Augustine to Simon. Simon trying to make a move right wing. Drives in against McNabb. Pump fakes off the glass with a shot. No good, but it looks like foul will be called on McNabb. And boy, Simon that uses the pump fake is good.
He really does. He really does.
Mater Dei huddles at the free throw line, and Simon will toe the charity stripe for a couple of free throws. Simon so far 11 points, been kind of quiet. So we'll see what he can do from the free throw line. First one on the way, good. 12 points for Simon, 6'4" senior, going to Arizona following Reggie Geary and Dylan Rigdon from Santa Ana, Mater Dei out to Arizona. So Lute Olson has a nice pipeline to work with as Simon hits a second free throw.
This is a good spot to be in on, isn't it?
Oh, I tell you what, right here at midcourt, boy, it's the place to be. Come on down. There's still a lot of good seats available, so if you got a chance to come on down and see some great high school basketball action from the best athletes in the nation. Mater Dei with the basketball. Marlo Miles, long three, drains it. A line drive shot that went right in.
I thought that thing was going to fall short.
Well, it thought it would too, but it line drive right in the basket. 1:37 to go as Mater Dei trailing by 5. McKnight wants the three. It rims in and out, no good. And one-handed rebound by Walker. And now it's batted away by Jackson. Jackson got the steal to Simon. Simon looking for some help, gives it to Augustine. Back to Simon. Simon has a three. He wants it, takes it, and he can't hit it. Tap-up attempt, no good by Jackson. Loose ball and pulled down finally by McNabb. Outlet pass to Walker. Here we go. Left wing, down to Driscoll. Driscoll takes it in the tall timber. Off the glass and in, but no, the charge is called instead of the basket. Driscoll wasn't afraid to take it to Simon, but got called for the charge.
That was a tough call. The referees are always right, and that was a tough one.
That's right. In the end, the referees are always right.
No doubt about it.
No changed calls here in basketball, I'll tell you that. No instant replay to change anything.
Mater Dei's got that little freshman guard back in now.
Augustine, he's a pretty good looking player, good point guard. McKnight now on the right wing. Bounce pass to Karich. Karich lobs it high on the alley-oop to Simon, pulls it down on the high pass, off the glass, reverse layup, good.
Nice shot.
Simon showed great poise there, pulled down the high pass, couldn't alley-oop it for the slam dunk, so he decides to go reverse layup and converts.
Very smooth player.
39 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Mater Dei trailing by 3, and Mount Carmel will hold the ball perhaps for the last shot as McNabb with the ball in his hip just waiting for the go-ahead from the Mount Carmel bench. Looking for the play. Meanwhile, 22 seconds to go. Clock winding down. The crowd getting a little restless here. They want to see some basketball, not a chess match. 15 seconds to go.
Definitely.
But Mount Carmel says, hey, we want the last shot. We're going to take it. I don't care how long we wait. 10 seconds to go. McNabb starts his move from right wing. Drives to the baseline. Pulls up the jumper from 10. No, won't go. Rebound McKnight. 3 seconds to go. 2 seconds. 1 second. Knight spins at half court. And a one-hand hook shot by Simon over the backboard. No good. And that will end the third quarter. With your score, Chicago Mount Carmel 48 and Santa Ana Mater Dei 45. We'll come back for the fourth quarter after this. You're listening to high school basketball, the Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout on WGNU.
Why do I think that wasn't the shot when the coach pulled him?
Oh, yeah. He just took it in and took it himself after all that waiting. Oh, okay, Tom, let's see.
I know they didn't run that play.
And we're back at the St. Louis Arena. Jay Murray and Onion Horton alongside. As we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter, Chicago Mount Carmel scored 17 points in the third quarter to 10 for Mater Dei. And as a result, Mount Carmel has a 48-45 lead as we enter the fourth quarter. Some of the individual statistics here to update you. Kevin Augustine for Mater Dei 2 points. Clay McKnight 12 points. Miles Simon with 15. Sean Jackson with 8. Darren High with 4. and Chris Burgess with 2, and for Mount Carmel, leading scorer Antoine Walker, 24 points, McNabb 13, Jay Driscoll 5, Marlo Miles 2, and Willie Jones 4 as we begin the fourth quarter. Mater Dei with the basketball. Jackson looking to execute the give and go to Augustine. Instead goes to McKnight, over to Simon in the near corner, launches a 3. Yes!
Mighty smooth player.
And if he gets hot, look out. Miles Simon with 18 points. He's been rather quiet all game long, but he may heat it up here in the fourth. Lob pass to McNabb, trying to drive right baseline. Scooping layup is good. The finger roll around Simon.
Great shot.
McNabb with 15 points. Behind the back dribble now for Augustine. Brings it up. All alone, Simon again. Another 3. Reynolds in and out. No good rebound. Jackson, he'll put it in off the glass.
Jackson's quite a player, too. Very good inside player. Junior. Another year. They'll be looking at him the way they're looking at Simon this year.
10 points. Entry pass now to Willie Jones. Turnaround jumper in the lane. Off the window pane. Rolls one. Twice off the rim. No good. Rebound. Jackson to Simon. Mater Dei on the run. 2-on-2. Simon 3-on-3. Now Simon all the way, and it's blocked by Jones. A monster block. Miles coming back, 3-on-1. Pass to Walker off the glass and counted. 26 points for Walker.
What a
Boy, I don't know if you calling it a block shot's not good enough. I mean, Jones came down with the hammer and blocked that shot inside. Augustine penetrates the lane, kicks it to Height. Height loses control. Driscoll all alone to Miles, all the way in for the layup. Marlo Miles 4 points, and Mount Carmel now has a 54-50 lead. 6:26 to go here in the fourth quarter. We may see another overtime game. You never know. And Mater Dei and Kevin Augustine want to call a timeout. 6:20 to go here in the fourth quarter. Mount Carmel leads it by 4, 54-50 over Santa Ana. Mater Dei will take another brief break, and we'll come right back. You're listening to the Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout on WGNU. Okay, let's take Novus.
Mike is down here today. Mike Cullen is down here watching the game.
Yeah. I don't know how much watching he was doing. Probably more smoking, chance to smoke some more cigarettes. Back at the St. Louis Arena, Jay Murray, Onion Horton alongside. 6:20 to go here in the fourth quarter. Again, Chicago Mount Carmel started their surge in the third quarter. At the end of 3 quarters, Mount Carmel led at 48-45, their first lead of the game, and now they lead it by 4, 54-40, or 54-50, excuse me, as both teams now coming out onto the floor, and we'll resume play here in the fourth quarter.
I think that coach might have called timeout to tell him to put that ball in Simon's head. He was just warming up. He and Jackson should be getting the shots now.
I agree, yeah. Simon has been quiet, and he has the ball right now left wing to Jackson at the free throw line. Driving left of the lane, and he puts it in off the glass. Boy, oh boy. John Jackson with those long legs got himself some room on the left of the lane. He put it in off the glass. 54-52, he sure is. Miles now, right of the lane. Gets it over to Walker in the corner. In the right corner, one dribble, and they kick it back out to Driscoll. Driscoll between the circles. Now it's Miles right of the lane. Miles pulls up the dribble, double team, cross-court pass, almost stolen by Height, but Walker gets it. One-hand pass inside to McNabb. His shot short, rebound, front court, controlled by McNabb. His second attempt, no good. Rebound, Height for Mater Dei. So Mater Dei has a chance now to pull even in this game with a two-pointer. They'll go to Simon. Simon in the left wing, off the glass and in. Boy, they were slow to get back on Simon, and Simon got the pass and took advantage, and he laid it in.
Need to give them the ball. Both of them are hot. Simon and Jackson.
We're tied at 54, Mount Carmel. And Marlo Miles, inside pass, turnaround jumper off the glass and no good, but on the block, the foul also by Sean Jackson on Dan O'Connor in the ball game, a 6'5 junior, and Dan O'Connor will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, they list this guy as 210. I think this must be some of those, Mount Carmel's an outstanding football team up there. I think they're getting some of the football players in here now. This guy's got a frame on him, too.
Well, I think they all took a slim fast diet before the season and got the weights down a little bit, and misleading perhaps to the opponents.
Yeah, his shoulders are so darn wide.
He looks a good 230, 235.
That's
anyway.
right.
O'Connor makes his first free throw. He's on the scoreboard with his first point. And that puts Chicago Mount Carmel up by a point with 5:19 to go in the fourth. Second free throw, high off the iron, no good. Rebound tapped up and controlled by Jackson, almost thrown away by Walker, but Augustine controls for Mater Dei. Crossover dribble to the right side is Simon. Simon on the right wing, looking inside for Jackson. Now decides to Penetrates, spin, loses the ball, batted away by Miles, but controlled by Height. Height drives in, right baseline, it's good off the glass. Off the glass, Darren Height, 6 points for him right now. His first 2 points of the second half. Where Mater Dei leads it now by 1, 56-55. Walker on right wing, almost throws it away. Miles retrieves near the scoring table. He'll bring it back to the top of the arc. Bounce pass over to Driscoll, right wing. Entry pass in to Walker. Left-hand shot, no good on the baseline. Gets his own rebound, and he can't put it in, but a foul inside on Mater Dei.
A lot of action under the basket. I thought Walker probably got fouled twice there. He'll get the 2 free throws now.
15 foul now for Mater Dei, so both teams now with 5 team fouls.
I think Mater Dei had gotten down by 6, hadn't they? And they're back even now.
And yep, brief lead of 6 as Walker hits his first free throw. 27 points now for Antoine Walker, the 6'9 senior. He'll get one more. Eyes it, shoots it, and it rolls in for him. Good touch on the free throw, 28 points for Antoine Walker. Puts Mount Carmel back on top by a point. 4:32 to go here in regulation. Simon backing in, goes to McKnight. Entry pass inside to Height against Walker. Height doesn't know what to do now, decides to dribble in the lane. Pump fakes once, twice, up with a shot, no good, and they say walk with the basketball. Turnover for Mater Dei, that will be Chicago Mount Carmel's basketball.
I know they were glad he walked because he got clobbered twice down there. So that was a good break for Mount Carmel that he took steps because 2 people hit him when he went up to shoot.
Hideout carriage in. Yeah, Mount Carmel makes you pay for it inside, I'll tell you that.
They certainly do.
They lower the boom on you in quick. Driscoll bounces it over to McNabb. McNabb drives left wing on McKnight. Cut off. Miles now in the corner. Left corner, cross-court pass stolen by Simon.
Terrible pass.
2-on-2. Simon with the basketball. Down the lane, spin move in the lane. Running one-hander, no good off the glass.
Oh, my goodness, what a tip in.
Tip in good.
Quite a player.
Simon gets the tip in on the rebound. 22 points for Miles Simon. Driscoll now has it for Mount Carmel. To McNabb, drives left of the lane, bounce pass. Over to Miles, his off-balance jumper off the rim and the glass, no good, but a foul against Mater Dei as Mater Dei has a 1-point lead. 3:42 to go here in the fourth.
You know, when you look at these Miles Simons going to Arizona, and you can understand why they're up there year after year, and then you've got a guy like Walker with Kentucky, Michigan, and Illinois as choices. That's why these teams are great every year. I mean, they get great players.
They get great players, and they're great coaches that help them get to that level.
Oh, no
there are a lot of
doubt
great players who somehow either don't get to the college level as Miles makes his first free throw. Either they don't get there, or when they do get there, they're not able to progress the way they should. Second free throw, Miles is short off the rim. Walker taps it up, keeps control, and he'll control the rebound. Left wing leans in with the jumper off the glass, no good. He gets his own rebound again, jams it home. Antoine Walker now with 30 points. I guess he sealed a spot on the all-shootout team.
Yeah, he made sure he didn't miss that one.
60-58 as Mount Carmel now with that slam dunk has a 2-point lead. Simon trying to deal on McNabb, gets around him, the spin move, the shot from 3, no. Rebound Jackson, hide it, now outlet pass to Walker, look out! He missed the jam, tip it up for him, he's on the rim. That's one of the more amazing things I've ever seen. Simon went up for Walker went up for the power jam with 2 hands. He missed it. Then hanging on the rim with 1 hand, trying to tip it back in
with the other. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness. Even if they called a technical, that play was worth it.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Now you talk about an athlete. That takes a person with some physical talent to do that. I mean, he's holding on to the rim and trying to tip the ball in with his other hand. Incredible.
Well, on a technical foul for hanging on the rim, it's McKnight shooting the free throw, and he gets it. 13 points for McKnight.
And that's one of the great things about being a spectator here when you don't care who wins. We can enjoy that as announcers. The coach didn't, I know.
Yeah, Mike Curtis had a nice talk with Walker over there on the sideline. So they'll make the highlight reel, but we need you to not get the technical foul. We need to get a victory here. McKnight made a second free throw, and with the technical foul, Mater Dei gets the ball back. Simon,
beautiful,
nice pass to Jackson for the layup on the backdoor cut. 14 points for Jackson. Mount Carmel brings it up, trailing by 2 now. They saw their small lead whittled away. Now they trail by 2. Walker with the ball on the right wing. 2:46 to go in regulation. McNabb back to Walker. Long 3 from right wing. No. Off the rim, short. Onto the right side. Rebound Jackson. Jackson to Augustine, and Augustine will slow it down a bit. Miles picks him up at half court, steals it. Miles picks the pocket of Augustine all the way in for the layup.
That Miles has done a good job since he came off the bench for them.
He sure has. Come up with a couple of steals. It's tied at 62 right now. And McNabb almost comes up with another steal, and instead a whistle. And it looks like a foul will be calling. McNabb got a little bit of the hand. And McNabb will be there with his first foul, I believe. No, actually, that's the second. McNabb with the second foul. And since it's a 7th team foul for Mount Carmel, that means that a 1-and-1 situation is in effect as Mater Dei in the bonus, and Miles Simon will go to the free throw line.
2 minutes to go, and we're tied right back where we were at the first 2 games.
I think Keith Pickens is just going to be wondering
if this one goes,
he'll be home before 1 o'clock.
They'll have to carry him out if this one goes into overtime.
Miles Simon will go to the free throw line. 22 points for the man going to Arizona next year. Free throw up and good. 23 points, and that gives Mater Dei a 1-point lead. And Miles Simon will look to make it a 2-point lead with this free throw on the way. Rims in and out, no good. Walker lost control of the rebound, but somehow saves it to Driscoll. Good athletic effort there by Walker as Driscoll has it. Cross court pass to Miles. Miles left of the lane, pulls up the running jumper off the glass. It goes in.
Oh my goodness.
Got the roll, put it high off the window pane. It falls through. 2:04 to go. Mount Carmel with a 1-point lead. Augustine brings it up, the freshman from Mater Dei. Against Miles. Miles tried to pick his pocket again. Couldn't find the opportunity to do so. Simon gets a pick from Height. Can't use it. Walker out on him. And Height now has it left wing. Cross court pass to Augustine. Has a shot, pump fakes. Goes to the left of the key, and it's blocked out of bounds right toward our vantage point here. I had to save my drink in order to keep it from spilling.
That little freshman got a taste of what it is to be a senior there.
Well, I tell you what, Walker about swatted that one in the next county.
He put it back in his face, didn't he?
It's like he's playing Nerf basketball in his bedroom, swatting that ball like a little Nerf ball. Meanwhile, on the inbounds pass, foul on Miles. So a needless foul there by Miles, and that could be costly because that will send Mater Dei to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
Very costly, and he's played very well too. I mean, out at almost 50 feet from the basket, you grab a guy's arm when he's in no position to score anything.
So Augustine, the front end of the 1-and-1 on the way. It is good. Tell you what, the Mater Dei team out of Santa Ana will make you pay from the free throw line. They're very good free throw shooters. Miles Simon, meanwhile, decides he wants to go over on the other side of the lane, so play stops for a moment. Now Augustine addresses the second free throw. Good. Kevin Augustine, 4 points. Those 2 big free throws gives Mater Dei the lead, 65-64, 1:41 to go in regulation. Miles to Driscoll, back to Miles, top of the key. Moving to the left side now, it's McNabb. McNabb driving left baseline, cut off by Height. Out to Driscoll, down to Jones. Jones baseline jumper, short up the rim, rebound pulled down by Simon. So Mater Dei can extend their lead here on this trip.
Simon has got a lot of rebounds along with that, scoring over 20 points.
Sure does, and with no shot clock, Mater Dei in no hurry to bring up the basketball or make a shot. But Simon drives in right wing off the glass, good! Over Walker. Simon with 25 points.
Well, that was a shot.
1:05 to go. 3-point lead, Mater Dei. Timeout called. Mike Curtis wants a timeout to see if he can get his Mount Carmel squad back into a tie situation. Right now it's Mater Dei 67 and Mount Carmel 64. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. You're listening to the Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout on WGNU. Oh, let's see now. I lost my log sheet for the moment. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let's just take 14. We'll probably have a chance to play Taylor Auto Salvage before the end of the game. Okay. Okay. And the Waterloo-Gibault marching band still here. They've been here since the outset. And Onion, with these 2 overtime games, this one threatens to be an overtime game. Gibault may have some tired lungs there.
I'll tell you, they're going to have a lot of playing to do if this one goes to overtime.
They're going to have to hibernate for a week or so to get their lungs back in order there. They've been playing all day long. 2 overtime games, and now this one is nipped and tucked with 1:04 to go in regulation.
Salmon showed you what he can do one-on-one when he just made up his mind that he was going to take that shot and nobody else. And he went to the basket and shot it right over Walker, who is a shot blocker, too. Yep. He went right over.
That's what you expect from a guy like Simons, the senior, to take charge late in the game. Mount Carmel will have it. They'll inbound the ball to Driscoll. Driscoll looked like he expected McNabb to catch it, and it was almost an accidental catch there by Driscoll. To McNabb, back to Driscoll. 55 seconds to go. Lot pass on the alley-oop to McNabb, stolen away, and height controls. Jackson got a hand on it, and height controls for Mater Dei. A big play now. Simon has his pocket picked by Walker, but Walker is called for the foul. And Walker did not like the call too much, but has enough poise and enough with it, to walk away from the situation.
Yeah, he's had his check for the day.
Yeah, one technical is enough hanging on the rim. He didn't want to get the other one, and he has enough poise and maturity to. He's talking with the official politely about it. Say, come on, we can't send Mater Dei to the line again. They're going to kill us. But the foul's been called on Walker. And to the line, Miles Simon, who has been practically flawless from the free throw line. First one on the way on the 1-and-1, good. That's how Mater Dei beats you. If you're in a close game with them and you send them to the charity stripe, there's where they nail in the coffin.
They're a very sound team.
Second free throw, good. 27 points for Miles Simon. 44 seconds to go. Mater Dei a 5-point lead. Mount Carmel with the basketball. Driscoll at the point to McNabb. McNabb trying a one-on-one move, cross-court pass to Miles. Miles launches a long three. Banks it off the glass and in. Oh, and excuse me, three-pointer off the glass for Miles.
No, he practiced that all week.
The old carom shot like Willie Moscone, right? The ball loose on the floor. Mater Dei on the floor, they say traveling, as Augustine got the ball, slid with his body, and the traveling call is made by the officials, and a timeout called by Mount Carmel. So hold the phone yet, folks. We still may have an overtime game. 22 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, and Mater Dei clinging to a 2-point lead over Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel will have the basketball when we come back. You're listening to high school basketball, the Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout on WGNU. Okay, let's just take number 15.
Today's second game, single. Carroll High School and St. Charles West has scored 81-76.
Okay.
In the second game, St. Charles West guard Ryan Robinson had 24 points. And Carroll players Marcus Davis scored 29. Tyrone Nesby led all scores with 31 points.
Okay, good. 22.1 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter of Game 3 of the Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout. Santa Ana Mater Dei leads at 69-67 over Chicago Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel will have a chance now to not to score again or perhaps go ahead on a three-pointer. They'll have the ball. And they'll inbound from the side, and it will be Walker triggering the inbound to McNabb. McNabb looks over the defense of Mater Dei, goes to Driscoll on the left wing, and they're going to play a little clock here.
They're going to play for overtime or play for a three-point shot to win it.
11 seconds to go. McNabb bullets a pass to Jones. It goes through his hands and out of bounds.
Never got a shot.
McNabb saw Jones open, and Jones perhaps was not looking for a brief moment, and that's all that was needed for the turnover as Jones, the bullet pass from McNabb, threw his hands out of bounds. So Mater Dei will have the ball with 9 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll keep it right here on WGNU as, again, we may have a situation where we might have overtime, but Mater Dei will have to turn the ball over if indeed that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to foul right away and hope that they can miss the free throw. So you know they're going to try to put it in Simon's hands. I was surprised that they were going to Jones, as good a shooter as he is. You would have thought that Walker would be the one that would either tie it up or lose it for you. I was surprised that they were going all the way across to another person. And as well as he can handle the ball, you would have figured they could have given him the ball and let him make his own shot.
Yeah, that is indeed the case. I was expecting Walker to get the ball or to do something with it, whittle it down, and then let him have the last shot. But McNabb instead saw Jones open briefly, but Jones was looking elsewhere. And the pass went through his hand, so Mater Dei can run out the clock, but as you say, Onion, I'm sure Mount Carmel, of course, is going to set up the press defense, the full court press, and they'll probably foul on the entry pass.
And you know they won't have Simon taking it out. They want to put the ball in his hand to let him shoot the free throws.
That's exactly right. As Height will inbound, Darren Height will inbound underneath his own basket. Inbound pass to McKnight. McKnight has it. 7 seconds to go. Finally fouled at midcourt. Fouled at midcourt by Walker. As they got the pass in, and once they did that, it was a matter of catching up to the ball handler and fouling him. And finally, Walker was the man to trail down McKnight. And McKnight will go to the free throw line.
You know, he actually needs both of those free throws because if he misses one with 6 8/10 seconds, they've got time to get down the floor and take a three-point shot. So he needs both free throws to seal the victory.
Mater Dei leads at 69-67. As Onion mentioned, 6.8 seconds to go on the clock. And now there's a bit of a discussion at the scorer's table. Both teams will go to their respective benches. There's I guess a dispute about how much time's left. And we'll get that straightened out. In the meantime, we can discuss how as Walker, Antoine Walker's over there pleading the case for Mount Carmel. For Mater Dei, Kevin Augustine 4 points, McKnight 14 points, Miles Simon 27 points, Sean Jackson 14 points, Height with 6, and Burgess with 2. And 6.8 seconds still remain on the clock, and we'll go over the Mount Carmel stats real quickly. Jay Driscoll 5 points, Donovan McNabb 15, Antoine Walker with 30, Marlo Miles 12 points, Willie Jones 4, and Dan O'Connor with 1 point. And we're still having a discussion
all over the place
about, I would assume, how much time was on the clock. And we still don't have a resolved situation here. What may have happened?
Correction, last foul charge against Antoine Walker was his 5th foul.
Oh, okay, that was the situation. Walker has his 5th foul, so Antoine Walker out of the game, so they lose a 3-point threat there. Should McKnight only make 1 of 2 free throws?
We know he won't be taking the shot. It's interesting, too, that Mater Dei has played number 10, the freshman guard, almost the entire 4th quarter. That's a lot of pressure, and he's played very well for him.
And the first free throw made by McKnight. Now the lead is 3 for Mater Dei. If McKnight makes this, that will ice the victory for Mater Dei.
No doubt about it.
Second free throw, yes.
And he did. I think it's over.
16 points for McKnight, 5 seconds to go. McNabb launching the 3 on the way. Rims in and out, no good. Rebound Jackson, that should do it. And that will do it. As Santa Ana Mater Dei holds on for a 71-67 victory over Chicago Mount Carmel in Game 3 of the Coca-Cola KMOX Shootout here on WGNU. Brought to you by Novus Windshield Repair. And Onion, boy, it was a game, a seesaw battle, and Mater Dei was able to hold on with good free throw shooting, especially because I looked in the first half. They staked their 4-point lead on 6 of 6 free throw shooting. Mount Carmel doesn't have a free throw at all in the first half, and Mater Dei, much the same in the second half, were able to convert their free throw opportunities, and they get a 4-point victory.
And they are very sound team, and naturally we were looking for Miles Simon, but this Jackson kid, number 15, he's a junior. They'll be saying the same thing about him if they come back to St. Louis next year for the shootout. They'll be saying that young Jackson's probably fans of UCLA or somebody on the West Coast. But it was an excellent game, and the fans are really enjoying it, and the ladies are coming out.
And the ladies are coming out. This is going to be a dandy game too, folks.